Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Sportsman's Park at Veterans Memorial Complex in Hobbs as we get ready for a little baseball here this afternoon. Hobbs Eagle Sports and Hobbs Eagle Baseball from the Walmart Digital Solutions in One Radio Square, brought to you by TDS, the Lee County State Bank, A-Tech Air Conditioning and Heating, Thriftway and La Tienda Grocery Stores, and Forest Tire Company. Hobbs Eagle Baseball also brought to you by Bobby Shaw Realty, the First American Bank, Lasco Construction, Gateway Financial and Insurance, Devon Energy, and Robinson and Associates. Lovington Wildcat Baseball from New Walmart Digital and One Radio Square, brought to you by Bob's Thriftway, the Lee County Electric Cooperative, Lovington Auto Supply Napa, General Welding, the First American Bank of Lovington, the Lovington Schools, Empire Services, Now Pharmacy, and Devon Energy. I'm TJ Miracle. Great to have you with us here this afternoon as we get ready for the start of the baseball season for the Lovington Wildcats, and it'll be game number 5 for the Hobbs Eagles. Let's go ahead and give you the starting lineup for the visiting Wildcats. Batting first and pitching today will be Brito. Batting second, playing short, will be Garcia. Hitting third and catching will be Tejeda. Batting fourth and playing third will be Tavera. Batting fifth, playing first, Aceves. Batting sixth and playing center will be Sanchez. Batting seventh and playing in the left field will be Nava. Batting eighth, the right fielder Parra. And batting ninth will be Salinas. Starting lineup for your Hobbs Eagles. Hitting first and playing second base will be Hunter Wright. Batting second, playing third, Colton Graham. Batting third, center fielder Eric McNabb. Batting fourth and playing short, Brevin McCool. Batting fifth is the right fielder, J.D. Pareda. Batting sixth, playing left field, Caleb Salmon. Batting seventh, pitching, Zach McPeters. Batting eighth, the first baseman, Marcos Aldretti. And batting ninth is the catcher, Kenyon Singleton. The home team Eagles are in the home creams with the gold letters and numbers, the black lids. For Lovington, they're in the road blue jerseys with the white letters and numbers and the white pants. So here we go. We are underway as Brito steps in, and he will take the first pitch in there for a called strike one. So we are underway, top of the first inning here from Sportsman's Park at Veterans Complex. Second pitch from a quick worker in McPeters is going to be low. Evens up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. So it's a 1 ball, 1 strike count to Brito as he settles into the right side box. The wind and the kick and the pitch took a little bit off of that one. It'll be up and right at the top of the strike zone, called strike 2. So we've got a 2 ball and 1 strike count to the first batter, Brito. McPeters looking into Singleton. He'll kick and fire, and that one will be swung on and missed. Ring him up and sit him down, and there is 1 away for the Wildcats here in their half of the first. So moving on to the next batter, that will be Garcia. Garcia, the shortstop and the lefty. So he'll settle into the left side box, slightly open stance. McPeters has the sign, kicks and fires, fastball, nips the outside corner, and that will be called strike 1. So a 1 ball, no strike count, 1 away. Eagles playing pretty straight away. Wind about 15 miles an hour, blowing in. Second pitch fastball. That one going to just miss outside and even up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. So a 1-1 count to Garcia. The open stance in the left side box, the wind and the pitch. Another fastball. That one's going to nip the outside corner and make it a 1 ball and 2 strike count. So a 2-1 count just underway, top of the first inning. Eagles and the Cats as the wind and the pitch curveball. That one is going to stay outside, and the count will even up at 2-2 to Garcia. McPeters and Singleton are your battery. Aldretti, Wright, McCool, Graham around the infield. First to third, the line and the 2-2 pitch swung on, and that one's going to the parking lot. Please don't hit the gold M350, and we stay at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Outfield left to right, the Salmon, McNabb, and Pareda for the Eagles. So a 2-2 count on Garcia as he fights one out into the parking lot, and he'll settle back in. Looks down at Coach Dreck at third. Now he's back in the 2-2 pitch, and that one took something off of that one. The changeup gets him looking, ring him up, and sit him down. Back-to-back strikeouts for McPeters, and there are 2 away here in the top of the first inning. Then that'll be the catcher Tejeda stepping in for the Wildcats. Tejeda, the big righty, slightly open stance. Waggles the bat just a little bit as McPeters looks in. Singleton sets up on the outside, the wind and the pitch. Little breaking ball, and that one will nip the outside corner, and that will be called strike 1. So a 1 No ball, 1 strike count. McPeter's a quick worker. Fires the 1-0, and that one's going to be popped up over on the right side. Singleton on the horse, but that one will go out of play. And Tejeda quickly down. No balls and 2 strikes. 2 balls, or rather 2 strikes. No balls, 2 strikes. I'm going to get this right as our scorebug has everything kind of reversed. But it's an 0-2 count. I know that for a fact. And McPeters takes a moment. Looks in as Singleton down, given the sign, sets up right towards the middle. The 0-2 pitch took something off of that one and just misses low, and that'll be ball 1. That one was right on the borderline. I might have had a little trouble taking that one, but good eye for Tejeda sitting right on top of it. Thought, nope, it's a little low. So the 1-2 pitch on the way, and McPeters will fire, and that one will be just a little chopper going to come up to the middle. McPeters fires over to Aldretti at first. Score it 1-3 for out number 3, and the Cats go 1-2-3 in their half of the first. So we head to the bottom of the first inning with no score from here at Veterans Memorial Complex, Sportsman's Park. Of course, today's game is brought to you by our good friends at TDS Telecom. TDS right here in Hobbs and in Lovington for your cable, internet, and phone needs. Call the good folks at TDS. Hobbs Eagle Sports also brought to you by the Lee County State Bank. Lee County State Bank. Bank with the folks you know who support local businesses. Hobbs Eagle Baseball also brought to you by A-Tech Air Conditioning and Heating with 24/7 service. A-Tech Air Conditioning and Heating. Your comfort is their concern. Also brought to you by Thriftway and La Tienda Grocery Stores, your local grocery stores right here in Hobbs, locally family-owned. Great deals and specials each and every week. Thriftway and La Tienda Grocery Store. Hobbs Eagle Baseball also brought to you by Forest Tire Company. Keeping you rolling since 1944. Forest Tire, conveniently located on Turner here in Hobbs. I'm TJ Miracle. We are in the bottom of the first inning. The Cats go 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Leading it off for the Hobbs Eagles will be Hunter Wright. He'll be followed by Colton Graham and then Eric McNabb. Setting the Wildcat offense, or rather defense, for you. Brito is on the hill today. His catching mate is Tejeda. Infield from first to third is Aceves, Salinas, Garcia, and Tavera. The outfield from left to right is Nava, Sanchez, and Parra. Great to be with you here this afternoon on a full day of sports, of course, for the Lovington Wildcats. The boys' season ended probably last night as the Portales boys with the COVID case having to cancel their game today. So the Lovington basketball season over for the boys. The Lovington girls will play tonight at the friendly confines of Wildcat Gym. Dawn Morgan will have that game for you on the Lovington Sports YouTube channel and also on Lovington Sports 1 at HobbsAmerica.com. Hobbs Eagles playing this evening in Carlsbad, their final game of the regular season. They're battling for a playoff spot. You can catch that game tonight because of NMAA COVID restrictions. Carlsbad would not grant video rights to Walmart Digital, so that game tonight with Ty from Carlsbad and the Cave up there will be on our sister property, Cool 95.7, and the audio available Cool on the Cool 95.7 app as well. So Hunter Wright will step in. The righty wears number 5 on his jersey. And so he'll settle in, sets up right in the middle of the box, and the first pitch from Brito. That one is smoked on the ground. It's bobbled by Tavera. Comes up with it, fires over to first, and in and out of the glove of Aceves. And so Hunter Wright will reach. Have to see if they're going to call that a hit or an error, because it was a bobble and then a drop. But just like that, the Eagles get on, and they are going to say that is an error. So I think he would have had him in time had Aceves not dropped it. And so the E3 will put right on first. And now Colton Graham will step in. Hobbs comes in 3-1. And the line in the pitch from Brito, and that one is going to be high for ball 1. So a 1 ball and no strike count to Colton Graham, the righty third baseman. Again, sets up right in the middle of that right side box, a little close to that front line. Leading off over at first is Wright. Takes a pretty good lead. Taking something off of that one. Brito fires and delivers, and it'll even up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. So a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Hobbs gets the leadoff man aboard, and Wright, due to an error, Aceves will hold him on over at first. Brito from the stretch checks on him, kicks and fires. That one is going to be in the hole. It'll go through first and third and out into left field. Nava will come up with it. And then the throw a little bit errant coming in, but it'll be a station-to-station play as Wright will move to second. Graham is on with the nobody out single. So we'll head to the next batter as it'll be Eric McNabb, the center fielder. Hits third and wears number 3 on the uniform. So runners at first and second now. The Eagles threatening here early. 3-1 on the year. Had a little hiccup against Centennial, but they have been putting up some massive runs here in the early portion of the season. Brito will check on the runners, kick and fire. Took something off of that curveball, and McNabb out in front of it. And it'll be strike 1 to the hitter, McNabb. Eric will step out, look down at Coach Marco Boyle, the longtime head coach here for the Hobbs baseball program. Settles back in. Outfield playing about 3/4 of the way back. And fairly straight away. And the wind and the pitch, and that one is going to be high in the air. It's to deep left center field. Going over is Nava. He is going to be called off by Sanchez, who will make the grab at the track. And it is a long fly out to center for out number 1. If the wind's not blowing in here, I think maybe that one is out of here, but the wind is blowing in about 15 miles an hour, so there's one away for the cleanup hitter, Brevin McCool, the shortstop. As McCool settles in, Brito from the stretch gets the sign from Tejeda. He'll kick and fire, swung on, and that one's going to be popped over to the JV field next door, and it'll be strike 1. So it's an 0-ball, 1 strike count to the cleanup hitter, McCool. Runner at second is Wright. Runner at first is Graham. Brito a little more deliberate, gets the sign from Tejeda, kicks and fires, and that one is going to get away from Tejeda, come back to the screen. It bounces off of the brick retaining wall, but the pass ball will let the runners move up into scoring positions. And now Hobbs threatening here with 1 out in the first and a 1-1 count to McCool. So a 1-ball, 1 strike count. Brito looks in. Tejeda sets up right over the middle of the plate, and the 1-1 pitch on the way, swung on. That's a line shot, going to find its way in to right center field. That'll score a run. That'll score 2 runs on his horse, McCool, heading to second. The relay throw not going to be in time, and it'll be a stand-up 2 RBI double for Brevin McCool. Wright will score from third, Graham from second, and it is a 2 RBI double to right center field for Brevin McCool. So Hobbs taking advantage of the hot sticks early, take the 2-0 lead. And so now it'll be J.D. Parada stepping in, and he'll take the first pitch away for ball 1. So a 1-ball, no strike count to Parada. Cats not really spending a lot of time with McCool over at second. The wind of the pitch, that one outside. Tejeda backhands, it'll keep it in. That one, another one that could have gone to the fence and could have moved the runner up. Nice job by Tejeda to keep that one in front of him. Pardon me. So a 2-ball, no strike count. Runner at second is McCool. Brito gets the sign, and he'll make the pickoff attempt. So McCool going to get caught in a rundown as they are working on it, and he is going to be tagged out. So McCool on the 1-5 rundown, and there is 2 away. A running error for the Hobbs Eagles will wipe the runner off of the base paths, and there are 2 away. But Paredes still up there with a 2-0 count. Just a little bit of a base running error there. Cost the Eagles the wind and the pitch as Brito taking a little bit off of that one, and Parada swinging right over the top of it, and that'll make it a 2-1 count. 2 down here in the bottom of the first inning. Hobbs up 2-0 early. As the kick and the pitch from Brito swung on, and that one will be popped to shallow center field. Running in is Sanchez, and he will make the grab on the fly out to center for out number 3. But the Hobbs Eagles have done the damage. They get 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error committed. So we go to the second inning, and Lovington trailing the Hobbs Eagles by a score of 2-0. I'm TJ Miracle. Great to have you with us. And don't forget Lovington Wildcat baseball this season, brought to you by our friends at Bob's Thriftway. Bob's Thriftway, your local hometown grocery store in Lovington. The Jamison family been taking care of the Cat family for years. That's Bob's Thriftway. Wildcat Sports also brought to you by the Lee County Electric Cooperative. Lee County Electric, serving the energy needs of northern Lee County for 75 years. Wildcat Sports is also a presentation of Lovington Auto Supply, 217 West Avenue D in Lovington. Get the Napa know-how for your car at Lovington Auto Supply. Wildcat Sports also a presentation of General Welding. General Welding, for all of your welding and supply needs, see the good folks at General Welding, proud supporters of Wildcat Athletics. I'm TJ Miracle here in the second inning, and a 2-0 lead for Hobbs High School. As we mentioned, for Hobbs, they get 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error committed, and nobody left on base due to a running error. So leading it off for the Eagles as we head to for the Wildcats as we head to the second, it'll be Tavera, Aceves, and Sanchez. So 4, 5, and 6 due up for the blue-clad Cats. As out on the hill warming up McPeters, 2 strikeouts through the first inning of this ball game and a 2-0 count. They'll just flip it in, of course, as they continue their warm-ups. Of course, just a quick reminder, baseball continues next week. This Wildcat team will be in action on Tuesday at home. They'll take on Clovis. Single game in our place. And here for Hobbs, their next games will actually be May 11th against Lovington at Lovington. So these two teams going to see each other a couple of times in the next couple of weeks. So Tavera, the third baseman for the Wildcats, will step in and settle into the right side box. And McPeters, a quick worker, fires, and that one is going to be low for ball 1. Well, 1 ball, no strike count to Tavera. We are in the top of the second inning. The 1-0 pitch on the way, swung on, and that one off the end of the bat and Q-shot it. Evens up the count at 1-1 as it goes back into the screen. Outfield playing fairly straight away and about, we'll call it 2/3 of the way back. Infield pretty much just at their normal positions. Singleton sets up, and McPeters will fire the 1-1 pitch, the curveball, and Tavera over the top of that one. And it is a 1 ball, 2 strike count to Tavera. 2-0 Hobbs in the lead. We are in the top of the second inning. A 1-2 pitch on the way from McPeters, and that one will be swung on. A little dribbler up the middle. McCool comes over behind second, gets it, fires over to first, and the stretch by Aldretti in time. 6-3 for out number 1. So 1 away here in the top of the second inning. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Aceves. Aceves, a slightly open stance from the right side box. As McPeters gets the sign and delivers, and that one is going to be low for ball 1. So a 1 ball, no strike count. Again, McPeters, a very quick worker. And the 1-0 pitch, fastball swung on and missed. Evens the count at 1-1 to Aceves. Doesn't take much time. He just steps out, settles right back in, and the 1-1 pitch on the way, and that one will be on the outside corner. Good pitch, painted it up nicely, and it's 2-1, or rather 1-2. And I got to get used to this score bug on the way I put stuff in. It's all backwards. So a 1 ball, 2 strike count. And the kick and the pitch, fastball, and that one is in there. Called strike 3, ring him up and sit him down. Third K of the ball game for McPeters, and there are 2 down for the Cats here in the top of the second. So that'll bring Sanchez, the center fielder, up for Lovington. Lovington trailing 2-0. And a 1-2 count. McPeters kicks and fires the curveball up and in. Woo, hello. And that'll be ball 1. So a 1 ball, no strike count. Again, McPeters fast to the plate, and a fastball swung on and missed by Sanchez. Evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, 1 ball, 1 strike count. Right fielder Pareda shielding in a little bit, and that one will be hit off the hands. And McCool dives in the hole at short and makes the grab on the line out to the shortstop. And it is a 1-2-3 inning for the Lovington Wildcats. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We've played an inning and a half. It's Hobbs 2, Lovington 0. Lovington Wildcat Sports and Hobbs Eagle Sports. Hobbs Eagle Sports this season, all season long, on our YouTube channels. Today we're on the Lee County News and Sports YouTube channel, also on the Hobbs Sports tab at HobbsAmerica.com and the Lovington Sports tab at HobbsAmerica.com. Our coverage of all Eagle, Lady Eagle sports brought to you proudly by our friends at Bobby Shaw Realty. Bobby's been selling real estate in the area for almost 50 years. He will take care of you. Hobbs Eagle Sports also brought to you by the First American Bank. Run in front with the First American Bank. Also, Lasco Construction, great supporters of all Lee County athletics, reminding all of our student athletes and students excel in the classroom and on the field. Also brought to you by Gateway Financial and Insurance. Gateway Financial, whether it's insurance, retirement planning, whatever you need, Gateway Financial and Insurance. Devon Energy, great supporters of the Hobbs Eagles, and Robinson and Associates Real Estates for all your real estate needs, whether it's residential or commercial. Robinson and Associates Real Estate. Leading off for the Hobbs Eagles as we head here to the bottom of the second, it'll be Caleb Salmon, the lefty with the slightly open stance. Settles in wide in the first pitch. Brito throws him a changeup on the first pitch, and it is strike one. So a no ball, one strike count just underway, bottom of the second. Salmon, the left fielder, settles down, and Brito kicks and fires, and that one's going to hit him ding-dong right on the arm. And the hit by pitch, and the lead man is on for the second consecutive inning for the Hobbs Eagles. So now it'll be the pitcher, McPeters, stepping in, chance to help his own cause out. Zed Hobbs, I want to say that 2 of their 4 games have ended in mercy rules so far this season. They are 3-1, and so they're getting the opportunities here early. Aceves will hold on. Solomon over at first as McPeters will step in. Brito from the line, the stretch kick, and that one is going to be popped up over on the right side. Parra on his horse, goes into foul ground, and that one is going to fall harmlessly to the ground, and it'll be strike one. A long strike one, but strike one nonetheless. So the pitcher-on-pitcher duel, a no-ball, one-strike count, 2-0, Hobbs in the lead, bottom of this second inning. Pardon me. As McPeters steps out, looks down at Coach Boyle, gets his signs. Marco has been known to be pretty aggressive on the base pass. Salmon with pretty good speed over there on first. Aceves will hold him on. And timeout going to be asked for and given. McPeters a lot more deliberate at the plate than he is on the hill. He's a fast worker on the mound. The wide and the 0-1 pitch swung on, and that one is going to be popped up to the shortstop as Garcia calls everybody off, comes about 5 steps into the grass, and will make the grab for out number 1 on the pop-out. Just got underneath that one a little bit and popped it up to the shortstop. So 1 down for the Eagles, and that'll bring the first baseman, Marcos Andrade, to the plate. Andrade will settle into the right side box. Where's number 25? Over the years, that has been the number of choice for Hobbs Eagle first baseman. So leading off over at first is Salmon, the wind and the pitch. That'll be a little chopper to short. Garcia gets to it and bobbles it. And coming in, no play. And the E6 will put runners at first and second. So a hit batter and the second error of the ball game has the Eagles in business with 1 away. And now the number 9 hitter, the catcher, Kenyon Singleton, coming to the plate. So runners at first and second. Andrade at first, Salmon at second. And so now Singleton, the righty catcher, slightly open stance, settles into the very back of the box. Brito from the stretch, kicks and fires, and the sweeping curve is going to be on the outside corner, called strike 1. So a no ball, 1 strike count. There is 1 down, but the Eagles are threatening. Brito checks on his runners. Now he'll fire to the plate. Little sidearm action, and that one curves and is going to be dinked off by Singleton. And he's quickly down. No balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first is Andrade. Runner at second is Salmon. Salmon led the inning off by being hit by a pitch. And now the catcher, Singleton. Down, no balls, 2 strikes. So Brito will check the runners and deliver the 0-2 pitch swung on, and that one is going to be popped up into shallow center field. Sanchez coming on, has to get on the run, and he'll camp out and make the grab as he comes in, and there are 2 away now for the Hobbs Eagles on the little pop out to shallow center field. So we'll switch over and go back to the top, and Hunter Wright, who reached on an error in the first, and then scored one of Hobbs' 2 runs. So the leadoff hitter will step in with 2 away, and that one is going to be up and away for ball 1. So no balls, 1 strike the count. And Brito will check the runners, working a little quicker now, and that pitch will be down in the turf for ball 2. Oh, and 2 ball, no strike count. for the leadoff hitter for the Eagles, Wright. Shading over is Salinas at second, and he'll jump over towards second as scampering back over to safety is Salmon. And the next pitch will be outside, and that'll be ball 3. So a 3-ball, no-strike count. Brito does not want to lose him. Pretty much forced to throw a strike here. We've seen a big change over the last couple of years. The right hitters will have a green light on a 3-0 pitch, and the 3-0, that one is a nice little curveball that breaks in hard and late. And it is strike 1. So a 3-ball, 1-strike count. Runners at first and second, 2 away for the Eagles. The wind and the pitch to Wright, and that one will be away, ball 4. And so Wright reaches on an error in the first, and he walks in the second, and that will walk the bases loaded as Salmon moves to third, Aldretti to second, and now Wright at first after the walk. So that'll bring Colton Graham to the plate. He singled to left back in the first as Coach Dreck wants to come out and talk about it. Coach Deck, of course, Ronnie Deck, head man for the Cats, comes out, has a word with Brito, and now nowhere to put him in a dangerous hitter in Graham at the plate. So it's a 2-ball, or rather, I've got to remember to hit next batter on this thing. So 2 outs, but the bases loaded full of Hobbs Eagles. They are threatening. One thing you definitely never want to do, no matter how many outs you've got, is leave the bases full of your teammates. So Brito back to the regular wind and the pitch fastball. That one's going to run inside. Graham kind of shimmying out of the way of it for ball 1. Oh, it's a 1-0 count. And Brito kicks and fires, swung on. That one will be hit in the air to the right side. Parra going over towards the line, shading over into foul ground, and makes the catch. So it is a long out number 3. So the Eagles threaten but come up empty. As we head to the top of the 3rd inning, it is Hobbs in the lead by a score of 2-0. And Hobbs Eagles, Lovington Wildcats here on the Lee County News and Sports YouTube channel on the Hobbs tab at hobbsamerica.com. Also on the Lovington Sports tab at hobbsamerica.com. And Lovington Wildcat baseball and all athletics this year brought to you by the First American Bank in Lovington. See David and his crew at the First American Bank, your local bank. Wildcat Sports also brought to you by the Lovington Schools. Lovington Schools, proud to support their athletes and their students. Wildcat Baseball also brought to you by the good folks at Empire Services. All your oil field services, they'll take care of you at Empire Services. Wildcat Sports also brought to you by the Now Pharmacy. Now Pharmacy, an institution in Lovington. Your local pharmacy for almost 70 years, Now Pharmacy. And Wildcat Sports also brought to you by our friends at Devon Energy. I'm TJ Miracle here at Sportsman's Park at the Veterans Memorial Complex as we head to the 3rd inning. The Hobbs Eagles leading 2-0. For Hobbs in their half of the 2nd, no runs, no hits, 1 error committed, and 3 runners left on base by Hobbs. Leading it off for the Cats, it'll be Nava, Parra, and Salinas. 7, 8, and 9 due up for Lovington as we head to this top of the 3rd inning. So the throw down to second has gone down. Of course, don't forget more sports action happening tonight and this weekend. The Tatum Coyotes on the road in Hagerman as they are in action. It's the Hagerman Bobcats wrapping up their regular season tonight on hobbsamerica.com, the Tatum Sports tab. McPeters will fire his first pitch, and that one will catch the outside corner, and that'll be strike 1 to Nava. Nava, Parra, Salinas due up for the Cats here in the top of the 3rd. In the wind and the pitch, fastball swung on and missed. And that'll make it a no-ball, 2-strike count. So 0-2 the count as Nava settles right back in. Singleton sets up outside in the 0-2 pitch, and that one is going to be outside for ball 1. No, 1-ball, 2-strike count. Center fielder McNabb shading slightly over towards the gap in left center. The wind of the pitch, breaking ball. That one is just going to miss inside. Didn't bend quite enough. And evens up the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Just underway here in the top of the 3rd inning. Wind about 10, 15 miles an hour blowing straight in. The wind and the pitch Took something off of that one, swung on and missed. Ring him up, sit him down. That is strikeout number 4 for McPeters. And there's one down for the Cats here in their half of the third. So now it'll be the right fielder, Parra, to step in. Parra, of course, ending the second inning on a long fly ball in foul territory. As McPeters will deliver the first pitch, and that'll be a fastball in the outside corner, called strike 1. So no balls, 1 strike the count. McPeters the quick worker, the 0-1 pitch, curve ball, and well out in front of that one is Parra for strike 2. The thing about McPeters is he varies his speeds well. He's not going to overpower you with the fastball, but he's got good command and he's got a good breaking ball too, and that fastball is just going to miss outside. Peters, I think, wanted that one, but a good eye at the plate for Parra, and it's ball 1. So the 1-2 strike count to the number 8 hitter for the Cats. The curveball swung on. That one is hit high in the air, but to shallow center field, and that'll break up the no-no as it'll just bloop in to shallow center. And so the 1-out single for Parra has got the Cats in the hit column today. So now it'll bring the second baseman Salinas to the plate for Lovington. He'll take a moment and go toss the lumber off to the side. Biggest change over the last, of course, 5 years is from the aluminum to the composite bats. Composite and wooden bats, been a big change. So Salinas will step in. Parra, not a huge lead, being held on by Aldretti, and the first pitch will be up and in, and that'll be ball 1. So 1-0 the count from the stretch. McPeters fires, and that one is swung on and missed. On the fastball, evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner at first is Parra. On the single to center, and held on by Aldretti, about a step and a half lead. McPeters checks, kicks, fires, curveball, and just hits the top of the strike zone for a called strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count, 1 away for the Cats. Little lead over at first for Parra, and the 1-2 pitch on the way. That one will be upstairs, and it'll even the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. So the 2-2 count. Aldretti in the stretch. Parra, a little lead over there. McPeters checks, kicks, fires, fastball. In there, yes it is. Ring him up and sit him down. That'll be the 5th K of the ball game. And we'll move on to the next batter, which will go back to the top of the Wildcat order with Brito, the pitcher. So the pitcher on pitcher duel. Brito 0 for 1. Struck out swinging in the first. Kick and the pitch. Brito checks his swing. Didn't matter. It was in there for a strike anyway, so he called strike 1. So 0-1 the count. McPeters doesn't work a lot slower from the stretch in the 0-1 pitch fastball, and that one is in there as Brito trying to make his strike zone a little bit smaller. Doesn't matter. It's still in there. Called strike 2 of that belt high on the outside corner. Peters good command here in the early going. He'll check on Parra over at first and deliver the 0-2 pitch fastball. That one's going to be in the dirt. Nice job by Singleton to block it out, and it'll be ball 1. So it's a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Top of the third inning, Hobbs leading 2-0. Lovington getting their first hit of the ball game in this inning by Parra to center, and he stands at first. 1-2 pitch on the way to Brito. The breaking ball and breaks, but not quite enough to nip the top of the zone. And it evens up the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wind blowing in. So that's wind's blowing in kind of from the northeast. And the 2-2 pitch swung on. It'll be a little chopper. Aldretti handles it at first. He will flip it to McPeters covering at first. And so an interesting 3-1. But it is out number 3 no matter how you look at it. So the Cats get their first hit. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 1 runner stranded. We have played 2.5. It's Hobbs 2, Lovington nothing. This is Wildcat Baseball and Hobbs Eagle Baseball from Walmart Digital Solutions and One Radio Square Sports. For Lovington in the top of the third, it's no runs on one hit, no errors committed, and one runner left stranded after 2.5. It's Hobbs 2, Lovington nothing. I'm TJ Miracle. Thanks for being with us this afternoon, wherever you are around the world, on the Lee County News and Sports YouTube channel, also on the Hobbs Sports tab at HobbsAmerica.com and the Lovington Sports tab at HobbsAmerica.com. Due up for Hobbs in their half of the third. Leading it off, it'll be Eric McNabb. He'll be followed by Brevin McCool. Then J.D. Pareda, 3, 4, and 5. It is the heart of the Hobbs Eagle lineup due up here in their half of the third. So how did we get where we are? Well, it started off with an error in the ball game for the Hobbs Eagles, and that allowed Hunter Wright to get on to first base. Colton Graham then singled and moved right over to second. Eric McNabb then with a fly out to center, and then Brevin McCool came up and smoked a 2 RBI stand-up double into the gap in right center. McCool was then caught in a rundown, caught stealing 1-5 on the pickoff for out number 2, and then Pareda flew out to center field to end the first inning. Hobbs loaded the bases in the second, but came up empty as Salmon, the number 6 hitter, was hit by a pitch and was left stranded at third. Then a pop out by McPeters. Marcos Aldretti reached on an error, then moved to second when Hunter Wright walked, and he was left stranded there as Colton Graham with a line out into foul territory. That was caught, and so the final warm-up pitch for Brito, and Tejeda fires down to second. Gets by Garcia, but Salinas is there to back it up, and we are ready to go here in this bottom of the third inning. So it'll be McNabb. He will step in to lead it off in the bottom of the third. McNabb 0 for 1, flew out to center. Back in the first. So the inside as McNabb will step in, and the wind and the first pitch swung on, and that'll be a line shot that'll fall into shallow center field. McNabb not wasting any time. One right up the middle and a leadoff single for the Eagles. All 3 Eagle leadoff batters have reached to start their respective innings. So now it'll be Brevin McCool, the shortstop, stepping in. He's 1 for 1 as a 2 RBI double to his credit. So McCool, the cleanup hitter, will step in with a runner at first in the form of Eric McNabb. McNabb with about a step and a half lead. Aceves will hold him on. From the stretch, Brito kicks and fires, and that one is going to be in the dirt. It bounces on the plate, going to get away from Tejeda and kick over towards the Lovington dugout down the first baseline, and on the wild pitch, McNabb will move down to second. So now runner in scoring position for the Eagles, leading 2-0 here in the third. They do have the firepower to break this one open in a hurry. Lovington has done a good job containing that. And the pitch, and another wild pitch. That one's going to come all the way back to the screen. Tejeda going to have to come get to it. And so now it is 2 balls and no strikes, but it has let the runner get over to third base. So now another potential run for the Eagles just 90 feet away. 2-0 pitch on the way. Brito kicks and fires. That curveball going to be up high. Kind of get the feeling maybe they're not going to give McCool much to hit. He isn't the cleanup hitter just because, you know, the way it falls. No, he's the cleanup hitter because he's got a good stick. The 3-0 pitch, and that one will be low and in for ball 4. And so walked on 4 straight pitches will put Eagles at the corners. And you might have to forgive me if I'm a little slow on the uptake because it's been a couple of years since I called a baseball game. Been a couple of years since some of these kids played. And we will have a pitching change as it looks like they're going to move Aceves over to pitch. So Brito's night is done, but he is responsible for the Eagles at the corners. We will take a timeout for the pitching change. Be back. This is Lovington Wildcat and Hobbs Eagle Baseball from New Walmart Digital and One Radio Square Sports. Not much time for that pitching change at all there as J.D. Pareda will step in, and McCool will immediately go as the first pitch from the new pitcher Aceves is going to be inside for ball 1. and give McCool the stolen base as he'll move down to second. So now nobody out. Eagles at second and third. They are threatening here in the top half of the third as the Aceves will set and the 1-0 pitch outside. That one's going to get away from Tejeda. On his horse and coming in is McNabb and no throw. And then the ball's going to get away on the throwback to Aceves, and coming in is McCool. So it becomes a 2-run wild pitch in essence. Another error going to be charged. That was a throwing error that they'll actually a catching error as Aceves could have handled that one. And so 2 more runs come in for the Eagles, and they take a 4-0 lead. Cleans off the bases, and it's a 2-0 count at the plate to Paredes. He'll take that one and shoot it to the JV field next door. And so now it's a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Pareda flew out to in the first. He is 0 for 1 as the baseball comes back in. Of course, with COVID protocols, masks are being worn by all the players, all the fans in attendance also supposed to be wearing them. Social distancing supposed to be maintained. Good crowd on hand. 2-1 pitch swung on. That one will be a hot shot on the line. And coming in and making a diving catch is Sanchez. Did he get it? Yep, they're going to say that he did. And so the line out to center for out number 1. Beretta got a piece of that one, but just enough for the center fielder Sanchez to come in and get a handle on it. So now 1 away is Caleb Salmon will come in. He was hit by a pitch and left stranded at third, so he's officially 0 for 0. Puts the left foot right on the back line and right on the front line. Open stance, and the wind in the first pitch from Aceves is going to be outside. Ball 1. The 1-ball, no strike count, 1 down, but 2 runs across for the Eagles here in this bottom of the third inning. And the 1-0 pitch from Aceves, fastball outside. Evans actually makes it 2 balls, no strikes. I said, going to take me a minute to get my baseball legs back under me. With 2-0 pitch, Aceves kicks and fires, and that one is going to be popped up over on the right side. Tejeda gets rid of the mask, comes back in front of the screen, and makes the catch on the pop out to the catcher. So pop 2 if you're keeping score at home, and there are 2 away for the Eagles here in their half of the third inning. Aceves on in relief. Only one of those, don't believe either one of the runs this inning are going to be earned because of the wild pitch and the error. They're not going to go on Brito's line. And the first pitch will be a chopper to McPeters. Goes over to the shortstop Garcia. He will fire to Brito in time. So if you're scoring at home, 6-3 for out number 3. But the Eagles scratch 2 more runs across. We've played 3. It's Hobbs 4, Lovington nothing. We're back in a couple of minutes. More Hobbs Eagle and Lovington Wildcat baseball from the Walmart Digital and One Radio Square Sports. Welcome back to Sportsman's Park at Veterans Memorial Complex. From Hobbs' half of the second inning, they get, or rather the third inning, 2 runs on 1 hit, 1 error committed by Lovington. Nobody left on base as Garcia leads off, and the first pitch from McPeters is going to be low and in for ball 1. I'm TJ Miracle. Great to have you with us on a beautiful final day of April, and the 1-0 pitch swung on, and that one will be fouled off the end of the bat. Evens up the count at 1-1. It's Garcia, Tejeda, and Tavera. 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Cats here in the top of the fourth inning. So it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Garcia struck out looking. He's 0 for 1. He will settle into the left side box. Open stance and the 1-1 pitch. Curveball swung on, lifted high in the air. That one's going to deep left field. Salmon goes back. The wind hangs it up, and he has to cycle around and come into it. So it'll wind up being a fly out to left field. Looked like it had a lot more on it. The wind kind of hung that one up and knocked it down. Salmon, though, had to do a pretty good job to adjust to make sure he could get that one. So it'll bring Tejeda to the plate. He grounded out to the pitcher to end the first, so Tejeda will step in, and the first pitch will be outside to the catcher for ball 1. 0-0 ball, 1 strike, 1 ball, no strike count as the pitch, and that will be a fastball. It'll be up and in, and so Tejeda quickly ahead in the count, 2 balls, no strikes. Outfield playing about halfway back, and the 2-0 pitch, fastball, and that one is going to miss. So just nibbling on Tejeda a little bit, and now he trails 3-0. Tejeda the kind of hitter, I don't think they're going to, if a 3-0 pitch comes in and he can swing at it, I think he's going to. But maybe not. The take sign was on. And it's now a 3-ball, 1-strike count. 3-1, 1 away, and McPeters quickly back to it, and that one just missing at low and outside for ball 4. First walk of the ball game given up by McPeters, and so now Lovington has their second runner of the ball game in the form of the catcher Tejeda. So that'll bring Tavera, the third baseman, to the plate. Tavera grounded out to McCool at short to lead off the second inning. Hit it pretty well. And Tavera, the big third baseman, will settle in. McCool from the stretch will check on the runner at first, kicks and fires, and that one is going to get away from Singleton. He comes up firing, gets to it quickly, and airmails it. McCool has to climb the ladder and gets to it, but Tejeda will get the stolen base. So that'll put a man in scoring position for the Wildcats, their first runner in scoring position of the afternoon. It's a 1-0 count to Tavera in the 1-0 pitch, and that one will be outside, ball 2. McPeters having a little command trouble here to start the fourth inning. The runner at second and a 2-0 count. Checks the runner, kicks and fires, and that one is going to be hot-shotted off the end of the bat and back into the screen for strike 1. So a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Tavera just a little bit behind that one. Peters slowing down just a little bit. Gets his sign from Singleton, comes set at the chin, checks the runner and fires. Ooh, that's a buckler. The curveball breaks, but not quite enough, and it'll be ball 3. So for the second consecutive hitter, it's a 3-ball, 1-strike count. This time to Tavera, the cleanup hitter for the Cats. Closes his stance just a little bit, and the 3-1 outside, ball 4. So back-to-back walks. And now the Cats are threatening here in their half of the second inning. So Aceves, the first baseman, will step to the plate. Now the pitcher, 0 for 1, struck out back in the second. So now runners at first and second, 1 away for the Cats. Runner at first is Tavera, runner at second is Tejeda. Lined and the first pitch, that fastball is going to miss outside to Aceves, ball 1. His first chance in the pitcher-on-pitcher duels today. Started the game at first base. Aceves waits, sets up towards the middle of the box. The wind in, the pitch, it'll be a line shot. McCool has to wait for it to hit. Comes over, and then he'll come over to first for the 6-4-3 double play. Aceves hits into it. 6-4-3 for the twin killing, and the Eagles get out of a bit of a jam with the inning-ending double play. We've played 4 here at Sportsman's Park at Veterans Memorial Complex. And it's Hobbs 4, Lovington nothing. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Continue Hobbs Eagle and Lovington Wildcat baseball from the Walmart Digital Solutions and One Radio Square Sports. Welcome back to Hobbs Eagle and Lovington Wildcat baseball from the Walmart Digital Land, One Radio Square Sports. In the Lovington half of the fourth inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and they leave one runner left on base. A 6-4-3 double play ends the top of the fourth. So we head now to the bottom of the fourth inning. It'll be Aldrate, Singleton, and Wright. So 8, 9, and 1 due up for the Hobbs Eagles. I'm TJ Miracle. Great to have you with us on a beautiful Friday afternoon for baseball. Final Friday of April. Of course, tomorrow starts the month of May. Aceves still on the hill for the Wildcats as they trail this one 4-0. Of course, don't forget more Hobbs and Lovington sports tonight, this time on the hardwood. For the Hobbs Eagles, they are in Carlsbad, final game of the regular season. Be able to hear that game tonight on Cool 95.7 and the Cool 95.7 app. Due to NMAA media rights restrictions during COVID, Carlsbad would not allow us to video stream that game. And so stepping in, leading it off, it'll be Aldrete. Reached on an error and was left stranded back in the second. So Aceves on the hill. Where's number 16? On his blue Lovington jersey, looks in, gets the sign from Tejeda. He will set at the belt, and he will deliver to Aldrate. Change up to start things off, and it's low and in for ball one. Oh, 1 ball, no strike count. Just underway, bottom of the fourth inning. Couple errors on the board for the Cats, and the 1-0, and that one swung on and lifted off the fists and blooped into right field. It'll bounce out to Parr and bring it in, but another leadoff man aboard for the Eagles. They've gotten all 4 of them on. Was that one out into right? So that'll bring Kenyon Singleton to the plate. Singleton popped out to center back in the second, so he's 0 for 1. Outfield playing fairly deep for the Wildcats. Parra playing about 3/4 of the way back in right. Sanchez about, we'll call it halfway back and shading slightly, about 2-3 steps over towards left. And Nava over towards the hole as well. A Singleton will settle in and he'll show bunt and lay down a beauty. It'll get down between Aceves and Tavera. And Aceves will get it and fire it to Brito, who does a nice stretch over at first and gets it. But the sac bunt works to perfection as it moves Aldrate over to second. So it's 1-3 for out number 1, but it'll bring the top of the Eagles lineup back to the plate in the form of Hunter Wright. Wright 0 for 1, reached on an error in the first, walked in the second, scored in that first, was left stranded in the second. So Wright will step in, now with a runner at second in the form of Aldrade. And the first pitch swung on, and that one is going to be jam-shotted over into the JV field next door for strike 1. So it's a no-ball, 1 strike count, 1 away. And the top of the Eagle lineup back at the plate in the form of the second baseman, Hunter Wright. Aldrade gets a couple of steps off second. Shading over, looking at him, is Salinas. As Aceves will check, and now he'll fire to the plate, and that one will be low. Evens up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. So it's a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Field again playing about 3/4 of the way back, and the 1-1 pitch, and ding-dong hits him in the elbow. And so that'll be the second hit batter of the afternoon for the Eagles. And so that'll put runners at first and second. First batter was hit by Brito back in the second. That was Salmon. So now it'll be Colton Graham, the number 2 hitter to the plate. He's 1 for 2. Singleton scored in the first, lined out in the second. So Graham will step in, settles in, as Aceves checks his runners and fires. The breaking ball is going to be in for ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes. 1 away. Here in the bottom of the fourth inning, Eagles leading 4-0 over the Cats. And the 1-0 pitch, and that one is going to be in the turf for ball 2. Taken me forever to get used to saying turf. Of course, the artificial surfaces all over Veterans Memorial Complex. 2-0 delivery on the way from Aceves. That one is outside. Tejeda handles it, but it's ball 3. So a 3 ball, no strike count. Runner at first is Wright. Runner at second is Aldrade, who led off with a single and moved over on a sac bunt by Singleton. Then Wright was hit by a pitch. 3-0 count Have to see if Graham has the take sign on, and that one is going to get away from the catcher Tejeda, but it was ball 4 anyway. No harm, no foul, but it does walk the bases loaded. And so that'll put Graham at first. It'll put Wright at second. It'll put Aldrade at third. So now it'll bring Brevin McCool to the plate. Had a 2 RBI double back in the first, then walked and scored. Also stole a base in this one. So McNabb will step in. First pitch to McNabb is up and in. Sorry, McNabb he's 1 for 2. Flew out and then singled to center. I'm going to learn how to read my book, too, before the end of the day. It's ball 1. So bases loaded, full of Eagles, and the 1-0 pitch. That one will be in the dirt. Ball 2 to McNabb. So a 2-0 count, nowhere to put him. Aceves in a bit of a jam here. You could be looking at something here that maybe McNabb, the center fielder, could drive. You don't want to get down 3-0. Aceves will kick and fire, and that one is going to be upstairs for ball 3. So Aceves having a little bit of control problem here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Hobbs leading this one 4-0. As the 3-0 pitch from Aceves, and that one will be outside, ball 4, and it will walk McNabb. He will get an RBI out of that one as it'll walk in Aldrade. Moves everybody around, so station to station, keep the train moving. Right to third, Graham to second, McNabb at first, and of course Aldrade going home. So now it'll be Brevin McCool to the plate. He had the 2 RBI double back in the first, walked and scored and stole the base in the third. As Tejeda taking a minute to talk to Aceves, just settle him down a little bit. 1 away, Eagles have put a run across. They lead this one by a score of 5-0 and a chance to really blow things open here in this bottom half of the 4th inning. So Aceves gets his sign from Tejeda, kicks and fires, and that one will be inside, ball 1. So a 1 ball, no strike count. McCool is the hitter. Aceves from the stretch sets at the belt, and the 1-0 pitch swung on, and that one is lifted high in the air to deep center field. Going back is Sanchez to the wall, to the track, and that one off of the wall. It'll score 1. It'll score 2. McCool on his horse, heading to third, and it is a 3 RBI triple to deep center field for Brevin McCool. Wright scores from third. Graham scoring from second. McNabb all the way from first. And so a 5 RBI game for Brevin McCool on the triple to center. Again, I think the wind held that up a little bit. McCool got all of it, but the wind just a little gust right there. Pareto will step in, 0 for 2, runner at third, and it's now 8-0 in favor of the Eagles. First pitch, and that one is going to be shot out to deep left field. It is back, and it is off the wall, and McCool will trot in on the RBI double, a stand-up RBI double for Pareto out to deep left field. So getting the ribby before I could even get the scoreboard caught up, and it is now 9-0 just like that. The Eagles have blown this one open. So Salmon will step in, hit by a pitch and popped out, so he is 0 for 1 on the day. So the lefty left fielder settles in as Aceves fires. First pitch inside, ball 1. Only 1 ball, no strike count. Eagles up by 9. Lovington kept it close, but the Eagles have cracked things open here in the bottom of the 4th with 5 runs across and still only 1 away. As Aceves kicks and fires, that one swung on. It is hit high in the air to deep right field. Going over is Parra into foul ground and making the grab at the warning track for out number 2. Pareto will check up and slide in. Well, he won't slide in. He'll trot in over to third. Well, Salmon still moves the chain along as he flies out to deep right field. Parra moving over. So now Zach McPeters will come up. McPeters 0 for 2, but a chance to maybe give himself the win if he can cash in the runner at third, Pareto, and that one will be outside, ball 1. 2 down for the Eagles, but a runner at third. They're up 9-0, of course. 10 runs after 5 is still the rule. So the 1-0 pitch to McPeters. That one almost gets away from Tejeda, manages to backhand it pretty nicely, and it's ball 2. So a 2 ball, no strike count. There are 2 down. Pareto, after the RBI double, stands at third. Got to third on the long flyout by Salmon. He tagged up and moved over the 2-0 pitch. Fastball inside. That will be ball 3. So a 3-0 count to the number 9 hitter of the inning and the number 7 hitter in the lineup, the pitcher, McPeters. 3-0 pitch coming in, and that one is going to be low for ball 4. Another walk given up puts Eagles at the corners, as McPeters will trot down to first. So Eagles at the corners. As aggressive as Coach Boyle is, you got to think maybe he is going to send McPeters. So Andrade will step in. He started things off with a single to right, and we will have a courtesy runner check into the ball game. That'll be Isaiah Montez checking in to run at first for the pitcher, McPeters. Andrade reaching on an error in the second, singling and scoring earlier this inning. So he steps in with compatriots at first and third, and a pickoff attempt at third as Tavera goes down and sliding in head first. In back safely is Beretta. You don't often see a pickoff attempt at third, but we just did. So digging back in, Andrade, the first baseman. Wind in the first pitch, and that one is going to be low for ball 1. 1 ball, no strike count. Brito started this game. Aceves coming on in relief a couple innings ago. Eagles at the corners and a 1-0 pitch. So now Aceves will fire to first. Brito handles it, and back in safely is Montez. It's a 1 ball, no strike count. Sounds like we've got friendly neighborhood police officer running around somewhere. Maybe an ambulance. Hope everybody's okay. And another fake pickoff attempt, and now they'll toss it to third, and that one is going to go into the dugout, and not ready for it is Pareda, and Coach Boyle's like, run, JD, run! And that will be a throwing error that'll get McPeters, and actually Montez, all the way to third, so the error will put run number 10 on the board as the Wildcats try and get a little cute, and now they're 3 outs away from this game being over early. Wow. Wow. The scoring on that one was Pareda as that one kicked out into left field. So a throwing error will score the runs, and the pitch will be in there and evens up the count at 1-1 to Andrade. 1 ball, 1 strike count, 2 down, but 6 runs across for the Eagles. 1-1 pitch swung on, and that's a hot shot, and it will hit Montez and will go foul. Ouch. Trying to river dance out of the way of it, not able to get over the top of it. It'll wind up being strike 2. That actually probably would have been a double for Marcos, but I think that one would have hugged the line maybe. Have to go back and look at the video later. Of course, it will be available at the Lee County News and Sports YouTube channel. 1-2 pitch curveball swung on, and that one is up over our heads and out of play. So the count will stay 1-2. A big inning for the Eagles as they've put 6 runs across. It started with Andrade at the plate now. He singled and then scored. Then Kenyon Singleton bunted him over. Then hit by pitch. 2 walks in a row, then a triple. 1-2 pitch swung on, and that's a little line shot over the head of a leaping Garcia, and it'll head out into left field. Nava will get to it, bobbles it, and it will score Montez and makes it 11-0 in favor of the Hobbs Eagles. So Andrade with his second single of the inning. He's going to cash in an RBI in this one. That one going out to left. So now it'll bring Kenyon Singleton to the plate. As Coach Dak going to come out and talk to Aceves a little bit as the wheels have come off a 7-run inning. And we're going to have a pitching change as Brito going to head to center. So Brito, he just kind of does it all for the Wildcats as Aceves will go back to first base, and we'll have the third pitcher of the afternoon as Sanchez will come in and try to lock this one down and get the Wildcats out of this bottom half of the 4th inning. We'll be back in just a minute right here on Walmart Digital Solutions and One Radio Square Sports. Welcome back to Hobbs Eagle and Lovington Wildcat baseball here this afternoon from the Walmart Digital Solutions and One Radio Square Sports on the Lee County News and Sports YouTube channel. Also, HobbsAmerica.com on both the Hobbs and the Lovington Sports tabs. I'm TJ Miracle. New pitcher in the game for the Wildcats is going to be Garcia, as he, of course, started the game at shortstop. So let's go ahead and reset the Lovington defense for you. Garcia now on the hill. Tejeda still catching. Aceves heads back to first. Salinas still at second. Sanchez moves over to short. Tavera still at third. Then you've got Nava Brito, who moves from the mound to first, out to center. He's a do-it-all guy for the Cats. So Nava, Brito, and Parra from left to right. So Garcia now taking over on the hill, trying to stop the bleeding. Runner at first for the Hobbs Eagles is going to be Marcos Andrade, as the 11th hitter of the inning will come to the plate for the Eagles. They have blown this one open, and it'll be Kenyon Singleton. He's 0 for 1, popped out in the second, then had a sac bunt earlier this inning. So now Singleton, the catcher, steps in. Runner at first is Andrade, the first baseman, being held on by Aceves as Garcia sets high, and the first pitch going to be inside corner, a little breaking ball, strike one. So it's a no ball, one strike count. There are two down. Garcia bends over at the waist, looks in at Tejeda, gets his signs. Now he'll set up at the chin and the 0-1 pitch curveball. That one is going to stay high. And even up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. 11-0 the score. The Cats, no matter what happens after this half inning, will be down to their final 3 outs. Of course, the next time Hobbs plays will be against this Lovington team in a couple of weeks. 1-1 pitch on the way, the breaking ball. And that one is going to drop and hit right at the knees for a called strike 2 to the catcher Singleton. Outfield playing fairly deep. Of course, Aceves holding on the runner over at first. Has the 1-2 pitch on the way, breaking ball. That one's going to be inside. And evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So a 2-ball, 2 strike count, 2 away. As Garcia takes a long look in. Now he sets, and the 2-2 pitch curveball swung on, hit off the fist. Over towards the third baseman, Tavera behind the bag and foul ground will make the grab for out number 3. So it's a big inning for the Hobbs Eagles, though, as they push 7 runs across. We head to the 5th inning. Lovington has got to get a couple of runs to keep this game alive. We will return. This is Hobbs Eagle and Lovington Wildcat Baseball from the Walmart Digital and One Radio Square Sports. For the Hobbs Eagles in the bottom half of the 4th inning, they put 7 runs across on 4 hits. Lovington commits their 3rd error of the ball game, and 1 runner is left stranded. Leading it off for the Eagles, it'll be Sanchez. He'll be followed by Nava and then Parra. So Sanchez will step in. He's 0 for 1, popped out to end the 2nd inning. Lovington has got to put 2 runs across, or this game will end early. I'm TJ Miracle here at Sportsman's Park at Veterans Memorial Complex. And the first pitch is a fastball from Peters outside, ball 1. Oh, it's a 1-ball, no strike count. The Eagles 3 outs away from an early afternoon. Next pitch, fastball right at the top of the zone. Evens up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Of course, Lovington like to see this one extend. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed as he ran one up about eye level for Sanchez, and he couldn't lay off of it. Took a mighty rip at it, but comes up empty, and it's 1-2. McPeters, the 1-2 pitch fastball. That one going to miss away and evens up the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. So a 2-ball, 2-strike count. McPeters, the quick worker, gets the sign from Singleton. 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Ring him up and sit him down. That'll be the 6th strikeout of the afternoon for McPeters, and it'll bring Nava to the plate. Nava, strikeout victim, leading off the 3rd. He is 0 for 1. So Nava will step in. Lovington needing base runners now to keep this game going, as McPeters will deliver the first pitch fastball, missing outside, ball 1. So the 1-0 count, top of the 5th inning, 1 down for Lovington, and Hobbs up 11-0. McPeters on the hill, working on a 1-hit shutout. The line in the pitch took something off of that one, but missing for ball 2. So it's a 2-ball, no strike count. Must have just missed inside with that changeup. As the 2-0 delivery, the fastball swung on, lifted high in the air to center field. McNabb going over and making the grab for out number 2. So the long fly out, and there are 2 away now for the Cats. So that'll bring Parra to the plate, the final hope for Lovington this afternoon. He does have the lone Wildcat hit on the board. He singled out to center field back in the 3rd, so he is 1 for 1. First pitch, fastball, outside corner, strike 1. The umpire, not that I'm complaining, very deliberate with his calls, and the 0-1 pitch, and that breaking ball swung on. That one's lifted high in the air to shallow center field. Charging in is McNabb, and will make the out for out number 3, and that will do it, as the 3rd out goes up on the board, and the Hobbs Eagles will be victorious today by a final of 11-0. I'm going to take a quick breath, and we will recap this one for you coming up here in just a moment. This is Lovington Wildcat and Hobbs Eagle Baseball from the Walmart Digital Solutions and One Radio Square Sports. And welcome back to Lovington Wildcat and Hobbs Eagle Baseball from the Walmart Digital and One Radio Square Sports here on the Lee County News and Sports YouTube channel and on the Lovington and Hobbs channels at HobbsAmerica.com. I'm TJ Miracle. 11-0, the Hobbs Eagles victorious in this one over Lovington, so they will improve to 4-1 on the year. Lovington drops to 0-1. Final line in this one, no runs, 1 hit, 3 errors, and 2 runners left on base for the Lovington Wildcats. For the Hobbs Eagles, 11 runs on 7 hits, no errors, and they leave 4 runners on base. Don't normally do a player of the game, but if we did, it would have to be Brevin McCool, as McCool goes 2 of 2 from the plate, scored 2 runs, had 5 RBIs, and just a whale of a ball game. Really, the entire Eagle squad had a whale of a ball game. Anytime you put up 11 runs against a quality opponent, you will definitely take that. So the Eagles will have some time off. Their next outing will be actually up in Lovington, if the schedule is still correct, on May 11th. There at Wildcat Park. We will have that one for you on the Lovington Sports and the Hobbs Sports YouTube channels. I am fairly certain of that one. For Lovington, they catch their breath, spend the weekend getting ready for Clovis coming into Wildcat Field. That'll be on Tuesday. Whether or not we'll be able to cover that game or not, a lot of that will depend on what we are looking at as far as the state basketball playoffs go. Of course, we do have basketball action for you tonight on our family of stations and channels. Hobbs Lady Eagles not playing tonight. Carlsbad's Cave Girls canceled that game at Tasker Arena, but Ty Friend is in Carlsbad with the Hobbs Eagle boys. That game will start about 7 o'clock on Cool 95.7. And on the Cool 95.7 app, there will be no video stream of that tonight. Carlsbad would not allow us the video rights to do that, and during COVID, they are allowed to do that, and they chose not to. The Lovington boys not playing tonight on the hardwood. They ended their season last night. Portales canceling the boys' game tonight, but the Lovington girls will be playing in just a little while. That'll be on the Lovington Sports YouTube channel and right here on the Lovington Sports tab at HobbsAmerica.com. The Eunice Lady Cardinals are in Loving. That game going on right now on the Eunice Sports YouTube channel. As getting phone calls from people, and I can't talk to them right now because they don't know we're on the air. The Tatum game will be in Hagerman tonight, and Al and I will call you back in just a few minutes. So the final again here from Sportsman's Park at Veterans Memorial Complex. The Hobbs Eagles taking it to the Lovington Wildcats. Our final score once again, Hobbs 11, Lovington nothing. Hobbs Eagle Baseball and Hobbs Eagle Sports all season long has proudly been presented by Robinson & Associates Real Estate, Devon Energy, Gateway Insurance and Financial, Lasco Construction, The First American Bank, and Bobby Shaw Realty. Hobbs Eagle Sports also brought to you by Forest Tire Company, Thriftway in La Tienda, A-Tech Air Conditioning and Heating, the Lee County State Bank, and TDS. Lovington Wildcat Sports all season long, proudly presented by Now Pharmacy, Devon Energy, Empire Services, and the Lovington Schools. Wildcat Sports also brought to you by the First American Bank of Lovington, General Welding Supply, the Lee County Electric Cooperative, Lovington Auto Supply, home of the Napa Know-How, and Bob's Thriftway. I'm TJ Miracle. Thanks for tuning in this afternoon. This has been an exclusive presentation of Walmart Broadcasting and One Radio Square Sports. See you in just a little while from Wildcat Gym. Have a great evening, everybody.